Welcome to Corona Cookbook for Daily Bread at Faith Community. Sorry about the loud fan in the background, but when you're broiling stuff, it gets kind of smoky. If you hear the smoke detector, we're going to do what we can to handle that, but it might happen. Our smoke detector is like uber sensitive, so any sign of smoke, and yeah. But we got the door open, we got the AC on, so I am going to share this video real quick. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. I make steaks because Pamela loves them, and sometimes she'll just go to the store. Now, steaks are not on the grocery list, but she'll just come home with like steaks, and she won't say anything. She'll just be like, "Oh yeah, you know, here's what I got," and I'll see steaks. That's her way of saying, "Listen, Negro, I want steaks this week." That's how she does me. Anybody else, spouse, do you like that? Because that's how my spouse does me. This is really an abusive relationship. I just want everybody to know that. I need help. I need somebody. I don't know how to like say it. Somebody please help me, because I don't know. Don't be trying to. Are you turning the camera on you? Pamela's holding the camera. Don't be trying to turn the camera on you.
I'm just listening to you lie. Go ahead, proceed.
All right, I'm sharing. All right, there's no way in the world I could do this without doing a shameless plug. I got my Faith Community tank top on. Make sure you go to thefaithcommunity.org and pick yours up. Alright, so what I'm doing is broiling ribeye steaks with sauteed mushrooms. I'm going to walk you through the whole process. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a process cooker. So I don't have, like, you know, this much seasoning. Just like Ariana said last week, like, I just season it until the ancestors tell me to stop. That's just how I go. I'm a heavy seasoner. Also, I don't have specific time frames for like how long I sear the steak, how long I put it in the broiler. You might just have to time me, and we'll see how this works out. So you can see right here, I got my ribeye, and these are the seasonings that I use. This is the first time that we're using Himalayan pink salt. Pamela said that was healthier. I guess, you know, she said it's healthier, so we're going to run with it. This is probably my secret ingredient right here. So I learned how to broil steaks from my dad. My dad taught me all of this right here. God rest his soul, W. James Smith, my hero. I love him. So Worcestershire sauce, which he said he used to call rooster shit sauce. That's the secret ingredient right there. So I'm going to show you how you use that. So what I do is, first of all, I put my cast iron skillet in the oven. I put the oven on broil. I put the cast iron skillet in the oven with some extra virgin olive oil in it, and I preheat the cast iron skillet. That's number one, okay? Then I kind of massage my steaks. You know, I kind of make love to them a little bit. So I put a little oil on my steak, you know, kind of rub that in, put it on both sides. Rub that in a little bit. I have one hand for shaking, another hand for massaging. Then I don't have to like wash my hands in between every single application of a seasoning. So I put a little extra virgin olive oil on it. Of course, at this point, I've already washed the steak, dried it off, so on and so forth. So, like I said, I don't have a specified amount of seasoning. I just season till the ancestors tell me to stop. The seasoning I watch the most to make sure I don't over season it is salt, because you don't want it to be too salty. I'd rather it be too spicy than be too salty. But bear in mind, this is a really big piece of meat, so I have to season it heavy to kind of saturate the meat. That's why I kind of massage this in. I massage the seasoning into the meat. So you got your salt, and then I go with my pepper. Alright. that going a little bit. Shout out to Ariana who put the pressure on me last week. Me and Pamela were sitting up here watching her, mouths watering. Never in my life have I seen somebody put chicken chunks in guacamole. Changed my life, man. Changed my life. This is parsley. Now, if you have the time and you get some fresh parsley, it works even better. Fresh parsley is amazing. But I got the dried parsley for today, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. Anything that you can do fresh, do it. Maybe you can call Dave and Michelle Garver, see if they got any parsley in their garden that they're willing to share. But see, I'm gonna size it in, right? I care for the meat. I care for the steak. And then right here, you got your granulated onion. Now, like I said, I'm really careful with salt, but like with other seasonings, I season pretty heavy. I'm heavy-handed with the seasoning. I'd rather it be over-seasoned than under-seasoned unless it's salt, because when it's like over-seasoned with salt, then it's not enjoyable. Alright, so I apply my extra virgin olive oil, I apply my seasoning. Now at this point, if I wasn't doing this for Facebook Live, I would pull the cast iron skillet out of the oven because it would have been preheating all this time. Once again, the oven is set on broil. But since we're doing it on Facebook Live, I already took the cast iron skillet out. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you should definitely get one. So, let me wash my hands real quick. How y'all doing today, man? I really miss y'all. I mean, I really mean that. I love seeing TFC on Zoom. But I miss seeing y'all in person. But as I preached last week, don't rush. So I will continue to see y'all virtually throughout the month of May. But I really do miss y'all. Alright. Now, when I cook my steaks, I use these tongs. Somebody on...
You have to click them.
Right. I was about to say that. Somebody on Instagram said if you don't do this, when you about to use tongs, and they don't trust you. So, click my tongs. The next step is sear the steak. So, I'm going to just sear it. It's a big steak. The tongs are having a hard time. Let's do it like this. Boom. Sear the steak. See, that's because I didn't have it on high. This is the first time I'm doing this for the camera. So usually when I pull it out of the oven and I drop the steak in, you hear that sound. It's like really sexy, like you're in a restaurant. Pamela always loves it when I do that. I always get like a lot of love later that night whenever I sear the steak and you hear that noise. It gets her really excited.
So ignorant.
So I'm basically just trying to brown the steak on each side a little bit. The other part of this also is I'm doing mushrooms. Mushrooms are one of my favorite vegetables. It's not a green vegetable, but it is a vegetable, so I really enjoy it. And I always like sauteed mushrooms with my steak. So let me turn this on real quick so we can make sure that is warm, so that when I get to my mushrooms, my oil is already ready. Now I prepared for y'all today. I want y'all to know that. Because, you know, I made some steaks earlier. Like if you ever watch like Emeril Lagasse or G. Garvin or Rachel Ray, or, you know, name your favorite TV chef. Like, those are the ones that come to mind for me. What's the couple, the black couple that would cook? What was that name? What's some black couple that would cook stuff? I don't remember their name, but if you ever watch any of them, the way they do it for TV, they make the dish before they ever turn the camera on, so that when they take you through the prep process, they can just show you what the finished product is. So I already made steak before we started this video, so that when it's over I can show you what the finished product looks like. I'm happy to say it came out looking good, because I don't want y'all to think that, you know, I don't really know how to cook, but like I just got lucky. The Neelys. Boom. I knew somebody would know. Who said that?
Ariana and Melanie.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's how they do it on TV. Now, one of the big challenges with a cast iron skillet, don't you dare try to grab this handle without a covering, because you will burn your hand off. So, just gonna kind of sear it on both sides. Now, nothing I'm telling you is science. To me, cooking is art. It's a creative process. So all that stuff about, you know, I massage my steak, that might not have anything to do with the taste. I honestly have no earthly idea. It just feels good to me. So that's why I do it.
It tastes good because you touch it like you do.
Yeah, exactly. I care for it, right? Tender loving care is what it's all about. So once I've seared my steak a little bit, oh yes, I cannot forget the secret ingredient. Lee and Perrins. This so reminds me of my dad. My dad was like a grill master. He always used it. That looks good, don't it?
Yes, it does.
I'm getting excited.
Marielle said, do you season until the ancestors tell you to stop?
Exactly. Exactly.
Real sad bubble.
That's Pops. That's what Pops called me. My dad called me Bubba. My mom called me Bud. Alright, so once I sear it, now it's time to go into the broiler. So what a lot of people don't know is that shelf on the bottom of your oven is not a shelf for pots and pans. It's a broiler.
It's both.
No, it's a broiler.
It's both.
It's not both. Woman, listen, we just had the whole Bible in the eye yesterday talking about why submit yourselves to your husband. You are not about
and
to get
found out that Paul
Hey. You are not about to sass me on Facebook Live. I gotta have order in my household. Alright, so we're gonna put that in the broiler.
Oh God.
Be careful, be careful, be careful. Alright. So
Marielle said it's both.
So this is what we do, right? I'm gonna broil that for like, I cook my steaks medium. If you cook one steak at a time, if you broil it like on each side for about 2.5 minutes a piece, it should come out medium. It's hot in here, y'all. It's hot.
I'm wiping your forehead, even though you just talked about me.
That's because we love each other. All right. So what I usually do is when the steak comes out, I usually pull it out.
Tierney said that is not how that discussion went.
I'm sure. Yes, that's how it went. That's how it went. We're not about to. All right, Tierney. Don't get sat down. We about to muzzle Tierney in a second.
Woo, Lord.
So the way I do this, when I take the steak out, I try to cook it to medium. So I take it out a little bit before medium. And then I take the steak out of the cast iron skillet and I cook my mushrooms in the steak juices and all of that stuff, so the mushrooms kind of get that. So today, my mushrooms are right here. I wash them first. Make sure you wash your mushrooms, right? And then I take them. This skillet is what I cooked the steaks in earlier. So once again, I season everything. Right? So the seasoning on the steak isn't enough.
What is that?
This is salt, Himalayan pink salt, a little pepper, a little parsley.
Tim said you always showing off.
can't stand it. Yo, if you're not familiar with the ministry of Timothy Carruthers, you need to do something with your life, man. Timothy Carruthers is an amazing individual.
What is that?
It's that Worcestershire sauce. How do you say it? Somebody.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
I don't know.
Alright, so I season it up. Right. Boom. Boom. Right. Mix it in there. Mix it in there. Get it all. And the mushrooms will cook down. Remember, do not grab a cast iron skillet without something on your hand, because you will burn your hand off. Now remember, normally I would have taken my steak out and I would have cooked these mushrooms in the same skillet, right? But for the sake of time, because we got the virtual watch party for Faith and Film coming up in I don't know how many minutes, but not long from now, I am doing this in the skillet I made the other steaks in. So usually both of these are not going at the same time. I'm going to check my steaks real quick in this here broiler, because you want to cook them on these. Woo! I like a little burn on my steak. Like, I enjoy that. Alright, so I'm putting it in there for like maybe another 90 seconds. Somebody time me on that. These are gonna cook down. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Since we got time.
Oh God.
Why you gotta say all
because
that?
I know what you about to do.
What am I about to do?
About to put it together.
You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing but what I tell you. Paul said, wives, submit yourselves.
And what did he say at the end?
I don't know what he said at the end. All I know is he said submit yourselves to your husband. Ain't about.
Well, what did he say at the end though?
Woman. I know he said in Corinthians, woman, hush. I know he said that. Alright, so when it comes out, this is what you're going to have. I made 2 steaks earlier. I put the steak on the mushrooms. You get all that little juice and everything. A good steak should not need steak sauce. If you got to put steak sauce on it, the chef did not do a good job. So that's broiling ribeyes. I mean, you saw it from beginning to end how the whole process goes. It doesn't take a long time. Get ribeyes from wherever.
It's better than if you don't have time to put it on the grill.
Yeah. Of course, you know, I love grilling stuff, but you know, firing up the grill and all of that, sometimes I don't have time for that. Especially when Pamela tells me I have to make them. Like, you know, I just got to do what she tells me to do because I love my life. I love my life.
So dumb.
So I don't want her to take it from me.
You are so dumb.
So I make the steaks when she tells me to make them, and she allows me the grace to put them in the broiler. So
shut up, bro.
That's how we make this thing happen. I think the steak is done. Usually I'll leave it in there a little bit longer because I'm making it for 2. It's always faster when you're making 1 steak. So that's my broiled ribeye with sauteed mushrooms. You've seen it from beginning to end. Faith and Film virtual watch party coming up next. Join us. We're watching.
Dave Garber just got on. Why do I feel like you need to start over? Now you have to start over.
We got a celebrity chef.
Dave got on and now we have to start over.
I'm glad that he actually got on now because I feel like he would have been critiquing every misstep that I made. So, Dave, let's just
show him the finished product.
Yeah, finished product.
Finished product, Dave.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Join us next week for the Bible and Beyond. We're doing the white party with Myron Randall.
Wait, Geneva just hopped on. Now we have to show it to her too.
Oh God.
There you go, Geneva.
Geneva is my co-spouse. For those of you who don't understand what a co-spouse is, Pamela takes a lot of management. Okay.
Wow, really? You gonna do this for the World Wide Web?
I need you to. No, I need people to understand, because Geneva's my co-spouse. I need them to understand what that means. Wow. I don't want them to think that we're polygamous or anything. What is this,
Relationship Sunday?
No, it's Ribeye Sunday. But relationships play into that, because you're my camera person. Thank you very much. Geneva Gray, my co-spouse, because it takes two of us to make sure Pamela is like okay. And I wouldn't be able to do this thing if it wasn't for Geneva Gray. So first of all,
wasn't for your loyal co-spouse.
Right. So, like, first of all, I give all glory and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Second, Geneva Gray. That's my co-spouse.
I can't stand you.
Dave Garber, I hope I made you proud. If we can ever get Dave Garber to like do a Corona cookbook, like in the kitchen or on the Big Green Egg, listen, you gotta log in. He's a monster. If you don't understand how much of a monster he is, go back to my sermon from last week, because I actually like showed a plate that Dave Garber made for me.
Did.
So yeah, virtual watch party. Still sweating. It's hot in here. Meet us next week for the Bible and Beyond. Our worship pastor, Myra Randall, is going to lead us in the Bible and Beyond. The question we're going to raise is, what's the question we're going to raise? Does Jesus not like wealth? We're going to take a look at that text about the rich young ruler, where Jesus says it's easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to enter into heaven. So we're going to raise the question, does Jesus not like rich people? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you are not currently on our email list to get the Zoom link, I want to encourage you to text disruptive to 31996. Follow the prompts, put in your information, and then you'll get a Zoom link every single week for when we do the Bible and Beyond. So once again, text disruptive to 31996. Yesterday, our very own prophetess Peplum led us in a discussion about the Apostle Paul. Everybody give prophetess Peplum a hand.
What is her real name?
Her name is prophetess Peplum. I don't worry about real names. Her name is prophetess Peplum.
Just in case people want to go follow her.
All right, well, yeah, Tyranny Jordan. You can go follow Tyranny Jordan. She led us yesterday. Next week is Myron Randall. And then I'm going to come back and do some more stuff after that. So join us on Saturdays at 4 o'clock. We love you to be a part of this.
Look, hold on.
Also, join us every day at 6:30 for Daily Bread. So we're going to have different things going on every single day. Daily Bread. Today is Corona Cookbook. One more time.
Babe, hold on. Dave said, show the food again. We need a slow-mo shot with background music. So now you have to turn on the photograph while I pan into the food.
Oh, let me turn the fan off. We got to get it right. Hold up a second. What song from the photograph?
Dum. Oh,
the opening.
That one, whichever one that is.
That's the opening right there.
Okay, do it.
You can't miss me with the opening. Let me
turn it up loud, and then I'll do a slow mo to the food.
Yeah, I gotta find it. This is pressure. If I didn't plan for this, it's a lot of pressure.
That's okay. They requested it, so we have to do it.
We have to.
Slow mo. You turned it up?
Yeah, it's up as high as it's gonna go. In the words of my friend Arthur Humphrey, this is pure sex.
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal right here.
Okay, tell the people goodbye.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.